You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Hello and welcome to a special edition of Shelby County Schools Report. I'm Avery Moore.
And I'm Scarlett Simpson. Today we are going to bring you a collection of some of our favorite Program of the Month reports. Every school program has its own unique story, and these are some of the most remarkable.
Starting us out is reporter Dee Dee Noel.
2016, Shelby County Schools was named among the best communities for music education by the National Association of Music Merchants. SCS leaders partly attribute the recognition to the district's use of the ORF approach, which teaches music through movement and play. We visited 3 classrooms that are using the out-of-the-box approach.
Music means a lot to me. Music helps me express the way I feel and what I like to do.
Learning music is important because it can take you more forward into the world.
Music education is great for you because it could express your feelings and communication through patterns, rhythms, and beats.
Teaching children music at a very early age, it helps for their brain development. It helps them also, I think, create empathy. It helps create their emotional well-being.
Carl Orff created this program many years ago to educate the entire child musically. He wanted to have children experience music on an elemental level, which is the simplest level, and be able to sing, and to be able to use instruments, and to be able to move their bodies, so they could experience music completely in their entire person.
It's very hands-on, and the music that we teach them, they can produce it immediately.
It's a whole approach to a lot of little pieces that come together.
1, 2, ready, and begin. So it involves singing, using instruments that are child-sized, like xylophones, triangles, tambourines, that kind of thing. And it also has a movement component to get music into the entire body of the child.
My favorite instrument of all, I think, is the xylophone because each note has a different sound, like different pitches. And once we play, you could have a melody, and the melody sounds really nice.
We try to make it magical to them, and they enjoy it because they see it as a challenge. They never get bored.
We're playing instruments, we're singing, we're skipping. I think that's another reason they love it.
It's really fun. So not only are we learning the concepts of music, but we're also enjoying it.
Hola. Hola, mis amigos. Hola.
I want my kids to be exposed to different musical traditions, different cultures, to learn different styles of dance, and all of this contributes to a well-rounded education.
I think about education right now, so much emphasis, it seems, is put on an individual, and then you get to come to music, and it's a group.
It's such a fantastic way to teach them.
I really enjoy class. We get to learn something new every day.
Stay on G, 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 G.
I just love it so much.
Another SCS high school has been training future pilots and aviation workers for years.
Wooddale's Flight Academy has become one of the most popular optional programs since it began. We had a chance to go into the state-of-the-art classroom to see what makes this program so unique.
It was as a barnstorming parachutist, wing walker, and stunt pilot that he first learned to fly. Later, he went through the Army flying schools at Brooke Field and Kelly Field and began flying the Mail from St. Louis to Chicago, and to dream of flying non-stop from New York to Paris. He knew it was possible. He knew he could do it.
Charles Lindbergh said it, aviation is adventure, it's fun, and it's science. Left-turning tendencies. Left-turning tendencies of what?
I was just really interested, about planes, because I always looked up in the sky and just think, how did they really do that?
And the program is structured in such a way that there are 3 classes these students have to take. It starts out with Introduction to Aerospace. The next year they would take Aviation 1. Performance charts, Bernoulli's principle, structure of an airplane, airplane systems. The third year they would do Aviation 2, and they would be getting more in-depth into aeronautics and aerodynamics. The propeller tilts, that's the movement that you try to make with your fingers.
I chose this program because when I first saw it, I thought it was interesting. Wow, this school offers a way to learn how to fly an airplane.
These kids have 2 ways that they can obtain this skill of flying or aviation. They can get their private pilot license here for free and get credit in college for that particular license.
Being in aviation, it kind of gives me a window, like a door to go through to know what type of job that I want.
It's a wide spectrum of jobs. There are other opportunities for students there, and one of the other opportunities that we foster here at Wooddale High School is the fact that the students have an opportunity to go over to the Tennessee College of Applied Technology, short TCAT, and the program there is usually 18 months. They will save about 3 months of that training, and then they would have to finish it up when they graduate here, and they would end up with a government license issued by the Department of Transportation to be an airframe or power plant mechanic. There's a lot of stuff in here that you have to know.
Being in this classroom, it has taught me a lot of responsibility.
That for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. I have high expectations here for my students in my class. I don't try to dilute my material to the easy stuff. I try to push my students on to learn some of the more difficult concepts of aviation. What does the long needle show? How many feet?
Yeah, he does have a lot of passion for this program. I mean, it's been part of his entire life.
This program inspires me to become a pilot. After going and flying up with Mr. Sherlock, it inspired me in the air to continue doing this program.
You can't imagine life without it anymore. Aviation brings cultures together. It brings ideas to the marketplace. It brings goods to the marketplace. Without aviation, our lives wouldn't be the way that our lives are.
And we talk about flying to the moon as freely as people talked about flying from one city to another. We cannot predict with certainty what discoveries and developments the future will unroll.
You've heard of Farm to Table, but what about Farm to School? October is National Farm to School Month. SCS's program aims to put healthy meals in cafeterias across the district, whether that means buying from a local farmer or starting a school garden.
Very good.
Shelby County Schools, I believe we have a total of 203 schools that are under the Nutrition Services umbrella, and we have 123 school gardens, a learning garden for educational purposes to grow their own food.
We're growing lots of fruits and vegetables. It's very healthy food for us, and we could eat it.
I eat them.
Ooh.
Eat it.
Farm to School was really focused on teaching kids what their food is and where it comes from.
We're going to wait until next week to see which part.
We plant, we take out things that need to be taken out, we feed the plants when they need to be fed, and we'll just watch them grow.
It's the most marvelous thing to watch a student pull out a carrot and say, "Can I eat that?" I say, "Yeah, you can eat it. Go wash it off and eat it."
I think that the kids are starting to realize that based on what you put in your body determines how you feel throughout the day. And one of the things we work with them on is if a plant doesn't get the nutrition that it needs, it doesn't thrive and grow and become a healthy plant. So just like your body, if you feed it not good foods, it's not going to grow healthy and strong.
It would help the kids eat healthier because we would grow healthier food and we would eat it probably in the cafeteria.
So it's there, it's just not necessarily as full as it would be if it was a local product. We really work in our fresh fruits and vegetable program with local farmers, just because there's less requirements around fresh fruits and vegetable program, and it's easier for us to pull local product in.
I just believe it's a great cause. I'm doing this as a retired person to support that cause, and because I believe in it so strongly.
And if you don't expose the children to nourishing food, all they eat is Takis, all they eat is very junk.
So, and that's, a lot of kids are like that. So, you know, it's an education for them to see where their food comes from and how it's grown.
It's really based on how well we market it. If we market it well and we're present in the cafeteria on the days that we do those events, the kids really get excited and the kids find value in it. A lot of times what we've done in the past is we've had fresh fruit and vegetable Fridays, so where we'll menu an item on Fridays and then we'll have a picture of the farmer and their product in the field as it's being served on the line that day. And the participation number's unbelievable just because the kids had grown the product and then, you know, the kids got the opportunity to eat it.
Those spicy, yeah. The skinny ones are spicy.
They'll give us vitamins. It will make us like be more healthier, and we don't want to eat like things that will make us sick.
The little green tomatoes that you make salsa with. When the kids grow their own vegetables or fruit, they become very possessive of what is happening to this. They want to come out, they want to make sure it's watered, they want to make sure it's growing. They come with a measuring tape and they measure how it's growing. They become very attached to it.
What the student is getting out of it would be, you know, a well-rounded view of the world.
It might be hard while you're doing this, but it's really fun because like as time goes by, you don't even know what you're doing. And while you're doing it, you're having fun and learning.
I think it is the future. I really do. How many kids, they're glued to their little games and their TV, and they never have their hands in the dirt. So this is kind of the school gardening programs are kind of a breaking ground as far as letting them get their hands in the dirt. And you know, if only one out of that class goes on and grows a garden, we've still got one. So, you know, it's a win-win situation for all of us.
Helping students become better readers. That's the driving force behind Books with Blue, a partnership between Westside Elementary and the Memphis Police Department. Twice a week, officers reach to students and help with homework. While students are getting much needed help, it's also shaping their image of a police officer.
So after you read that, what did y'all take from that?
At first I was scared of them.
I used to didn't like polices.
So we're going to look at A through D, and we're going to pick the best answer.
In the beginning, it was some reservation. They weren't quite sure what to expect of us. Most times when people meet the police, they're not having a good day.
His front claws on Sky's floor. Now I know that there are good people teaching us reading.
So you can just say that you taught DOW.
This is our very first year, and last year was a struggle with our state testing and understanding the data and understanding what we were missing. We were realizing that a lot of kids needed some extra help outside of what they were getting in the classroom. So we wanted to find who can be tutors, and the police officers were the greatest, you know, people that we can think of at the time.
My concern was we were putting kids out in the streets. Well, actually, they were graduating, and they were not prepared. And I knew that they weren't prepared. We were going to deal with them on the police level.
I still didn't understand how was he going to make this happen. And for him to be able to pull officers off the street for 1 hour, just say, hey, give me 1 hour, covering the entire Fraser and Raleigh, and all of his officers accepting the fact that they're going to have to cover each other while those 8 to 10 officers are here in this building working with my 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. It's just it's beyond my belief.
I told the guys, either we help the kids now or we're going to deal with them later. Everybody was raising their hands. We had to select the officers to do this program because there were so many people that wanted to do it.
I was elated with the when it was proposed. I jumped at it like pretty much all of us did.
And being a police officer and being able to at least take that little hour out of my day, clear my head, to be around the kids, and to possibly be a person that's going to change the way that they move throughout their school career, I love it.
When I decided to pick the students that we were going to have in the program, I didn't want the students that were already A students. We needed the kids that just needed that extra help, that push to get them over. The confidence level was so important.
Terrible. Created.
We read stories and write paragraphs and work on words that we don't know.
They can help me become proficient in my reading.
It normally varies each day. Some days we'll come in and they'll give us a packet, of course, and it's, okay, read out loud this day, make sure that they can read with the fluency. The next day will be, okay, let them read it to themselves, make sure that they can read in time, and see how they comprehended the passages and the way they can apply the idea to the question and answer.
Break that down. Why does he no longer think it's possible? I promote confidence in the kids because sometimes, you know, they may be afraid and they may lack that confidence in themselves going forward. So I try to promote that.
The relationship that these guys have with these kids is amazing, especially when you're in an area that the police are not always looked upon favorably, and children growing up believing that the police is the bad guy.
Since they were actually nice and they helped us.
Don't try to change Miss Corey. You just said 14.
Didn't change it. I said it was still there.
We become friends, and when we walk in the classroom, their faces light up with smiles, and so now they're very responsive and very receptive of us all.
I say thank you a lot because for how they teach us and how they read to us, and it's very helpful.
To see an officer, a person in uniform, that respect to come through the door, it's really special for Westside and it's really special for Fraser. So I think I'm being a little selfish and maybe trying to keep it to myself, although I think it will be an outstanding program for the entire city of Memphis.
We're running a 24-hour broadcast television station like no other school has done.
It is student run, it's student produced, it is student written, and it's student directed.
Here's to another 35 more years.
Students here get immersed in lots of different types of shows so that when they go out into the real world or to college, if this is what they want to pursue, they are so prepared.
Those lessons have also affected me in the ways that I would never even imagine.
It has shown me to be different and to, not settle for mediocrity. When you're producing a show, you want your show to be the best one it can be. You want it to be, a show to remember, a show that you want to look back on and say, I did that.
Yes, I did do this. Did I believe that I could do this? No, but because of all the support that I gained, I know that I can actually get this done.
I know that the skills I've learned here is something I'm never going to forget, and same with the experiences here.
From all of us here at GHS-TV, have a great day.
For more information about the Kappa program, visit ghskappa.com or call 755-7775. You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
New immigrant high school students now have a place all their own. The Newcomers International Center is Shelby County School's first English language center. In addition to English, these students will also get help adjusting to American culture in school and in the community. For Principal Gabriella Toro, it's a dream 7 years in the making.
If you need help with like immigration or stuff like that, what are some things that we can get you help for?
There is a lot of students, newcomers, that come into the country and are put into high schools, and then you don't see them anymore because there's not that help for them after 1 year. If they're 17, they're 18 the next year, and they drop out to go work.
Alice and Charles are Jim's what?
The center is actually a dream come true for me. About 7 years ago, I said we've got to have an ESL school.
He's a husband, she is wife. I came at the tail end of this. I came when the center, the idea was already formed and they were looking for the administration.
I think that it's something that we've needed for a very long time. The center is actually doing something that within the community we didn't have. It's very much a safe haven for newcomers.
That is correct. Our center is open to every newcomer. They have been in the country less than 1 calendar year. They're from 14 to 17 years old. It is an option for them. They don't have to, but it's the best option.
I come from Honduras.
Colombian. I'm from Colombia. I've been here 1 year.
They weren't talking at all at the beginning. Their fear is speaking.
Everybody's like, wow, how do you communicate with them? But it's very possible, whether it's through just hand gestures, whether it's through your tone, body language.
Can a tree die? I'm a firm believer in encouraging kids and building that self-confidence so that learning is not scary. Learning is fun, and learning is making me grow. And oh my goodness, I've had this success. There's nothing that's going to hold me back or stop me now. I can learn anything.
They try, and definitely our teachers and myself, we try. We speak to them in English. We'll go to Google Translate and try to translate everything we can, either in Swahili, even in French, so that our kids feel they are part of this center.
This center is very important for me, for speaking more English and learn more math, science, history, this country.
It takes hard work because this is completely out of their comfort zone. And I keep telling them, I've been there. I was 11 when I moved here, and I didn't speak English. I did not at all. So I've been where they are right now, and I told them it can be done.
You've got to practice your English. This is the safe place. School is the safe place. We're working with reframing the students' mentality that there is that instant fix of I could go out and earn money this weekend working, whether it's waiting tables, whether it's roofing or painting.
In the morning, I come to school. In the afternoon, I go to my work. I work in the subway.
They want to go to work, and I keep telling them, I want you to go to school. Finish this year so that you can say, I went to school in high school and I learned English.
They want to keep going. They want to get their degrees.
I see a very important graphic design and make video games.
I want to go to the university in engineering in systems.
We're in the business of educating people and helping people.
Mount Rushmore.
Our teachers are definitely passionate about what they do. I think none of them are here for simply a paycheck. They're fully loaded, they're fully invested into really equipping these kids with the skills that they need to, survive day-to-day life in the United States.
It cannot reproduce. It cannot have babies.
To teach science is something I am also very passionate about, I enjoy, and to be able to do it in this environment where we are teaching those English skills, it's a double plus for me.
We have been very fortunate. We have some dynamic humans in this building.
This is, the environment specializes in teaching these students, and I feel that they feel safer. They're not just thrown into a big school and, have to swim and don't know anything.
Some of these kids don't have dreams. And my job is to build them a dream that they can finish their education without being judged.
The Colonial Hearing, Speech, and Vision Center caters specifically for students with special needs. While the center is physically located at Sea Isle Elementary School, its reach is felt far beyond its walls.
Blue, you want to do blue stripes, blue polka dots, what?
There is a love that I have for children that I think people will never understand. Children are the most innocent, loving, kind. They have the purest heart. And when a child has a disability, they're born with a strike against them.
You want to play with the money?
Basically what we do here, we are in charge of most of the related services for students who are identified as having a disability.
Anywhere in here, like on this line where you forward everything out?
We help the students get access to the learning environment.
The services that we offer here are speech and language services.
The boy, what's he shoveling? What's he shoveling?
There are about over 300 students with hearing loss in our district.
Starfish?
We not only service those students who are able to actually hear well enough to speak, but we also service those students who have to use sign language in order to communicate their needs and their wants.
They have to get used to things, but there can be this huge smile they have on their face when it's like, oh my goodness, what am I hearing?
All right, just listen for the sound and raise your hand when you hear it.
We test the students. We determine their eligibility.
Lauren, where's the ball? Good girl, there is the ball.
We complete the individualized education program.
Staying where she's supposed to stay or remaining in her designated area.
And then we assign those students out into the school district.
Number 1, dots or line.
The actual vision services are provided as determined by the IEP team for students from pre-K all the way up to age 22.
Which gives you -2 to the x equals -308.
And with those vision students, we also have a library.
We have iPads, computers, laptops, you know, any technology that you could basically imagine. We really try to make sure that we meet the needs of the students.
We also supplement with some equipment in the classroom to help them so they can hear.
We also have occupational and physical therapists based out of this center.
We have such a variety of expertise in this building.
Can you put some ice in your cup?
We have an assistive technology team in special education that addresses adaptive ways of helping children access and participate in their curriculum.
All of our services are free to our students, so our parents do not have to pay anything to receive services from this center.
Everyone here has a special heart for kids. So we all once were children, and many of us, you know, saw barriers in our own lives or growing up, you know, and that affected our choice of professional.
We are very successful in the things that we are doing.
It doesn't feel like a struggle. It doesn't feel like a job. I feel honored to be able to do that.
You know, you get up every day and you solve a new issue so that another family, another child, another school has a successful day.